Good morning. You're watching The Market right here on 18 Hour with me, Aisha Paree. I've got Nifty Shah as well joining in. And finally, the momentum in the extremely ranged market, that continues to pick up. While we did give up our gains in the latter part of trade yesterday, the good thing is that FIIs bought, and they bought a quantum of about almost 1,400 crore rupees, and that happened after a very, very long time. Sure enough, there has been some minuscule buying, although very, very sporadically. But yesterday, the quantum was a little bit better than what one would have anticipated. That said, the Nifty Bank, and that's been powering really all the way. It's managed to advance for a sixth consecutive day on the trot. And even the broader markets, they've been doing pretty well. So for almost so far this week or the last 5 trading sessions, we've managed to eke out gains for even the broader end of the market. Yes, the Tata Group of stocks, they were the ones with soured sentiment. We'll talk about that in due course of the show. But IT, that continues to be one watch point, given that TCS is due to report its numbers on Thursday post-market hours. And IT finally snapped its 3-day gaining streak. So that seems like more of a tactical move that you had at your hands up until day before. But those stocks definitely took a little bit of a breather. What also took charge yesterday was some of the telecom plays led by Bharti and Idea. They were the ones which shone pretty bright in trade yesterday, even though for Bharti and Idea, the subscriber numbers weren't all that impressive. But this morning, let's take stock of Snehi. Firstly, what the global picture is looking like.
Absolutely, Aisha. If you take a look at how US has done yesterday, US pulled back. We've seen some tempered moves coming in across Wall Street. So if you take a look at what the levels look like, it was a sea of red across the US markets. Mild cuts on the Dow, but deeper cuts coming in on Nasdaq, and that was on the back of the stock of Oracle dropping about 2.5% to 3% on their cloud revenue concern. So that didn't look good. On the back of that, Nasdaq was also down 0.7. The S&P was down 0.4%. So that was the way the US markets panned out. If you take a look at the European markets, they closed absolutely flat. Not much to talk about there. Asia this morning, Nikkei continues its bull run, a second consecutive day of fresh record high coming in, currently higher by about 0.2%. You have Australia that's slightly under pressure. Hang Seng down by about 1%, slightly more than that. So slightly concerning the way Hang Seng has opened up this morning. So that's the take on the global equities. In terms of commodity, gold also continues to break out fresh highs. It crossed that $4,000 per ounce level. So that momentum builds up on gold as much as the US government shutdown concerns continue. This is going to continue to rally. On the flip side, dollar index has also seen a little bit of a pickup around 98.8, so very close to that 99 level once again. And Brent oil continues to be around $65-66 per barrel, so not much momentum over there. But in terms of the important global comments that we're tracking this morning, word coming in from Donald Trump, as is the case every morning. He's talking about his relationship with the Prime Minister of Canada. That's Carney. He says he's a great Prime Minister. The deal with Canada will include dairy and other things. But he's concerned about American buyers buying Canadian cars. So that's a point of contention over there. And he's saying that they'll make good deals for both the countries. Next up, Stephen Miran, the Fed governor, he's saying that his best attempt at a real neutral rate estimate is about 0.5%, and he's saying that monetary policy should be forward-looking, and additional restrictiveness on the policy, if at all, will pose some risk going ahead. Neil Kashkari, he in fact echoes that view, and he says that you would expect to see the economy have a burst of high inflation if there is a drastic rate cut going ahead. So two opposite views coming in from Federal Reserve officials. And lastly, Jensen Huang, who's the CEO of NVIDIA, the founder and CEO, in an internal memo, he did say that immigrants make up the core of NVIDIA as well as the US economy, and he's happy to continue funding H-1B visas and other associated costs. So that's the global roundup coming in. Aisha, in terms of equities, commodities, and some important comments that we've been tracking.
Yeah, absolutely. The fact that gold is now conclusively at that $4,000 per ounce level. But that said, what's been brewing at home is furthermore interesting, and the infighting within the Tata Group has prompted the government now to step in, with top leaders of the group, including Tata Trust Chairman Noel Tata and Tata Sons Chairman N. Chandrasekaran, meeting the Union Home Minister Amit Shah and Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman as of yesterday. Let's build on this story forward, and let's try and figure out what exactly do we know, because this is making a market a little bit nervous, and the market, of course, is eyeing out for those very important developments as well. But Prakash Priyadarshi, my colleague, is here to tell us what was discussed in these very high-level meetings as of yesterday.
Well, in an interesting development, Tata Group officials met with the Home Minister Amit Shah at his residence. In fact, the Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman was also part of the meeting. Sources suggest key Tata Group officials, including Noel Tata, Venu Srinivasan, N. Chandrasekaran, were among the attendees. We given to understand that the issues related to governance and functioning of Tata Trust were discussed with the government. In addition to that, matter concerning board appointments and internal disputes among the trustees were taken up. A very significant development coming in. You are aware that the four trustees of Tata Trust are seeking a greater say in oversight decisions, including the approval of independent directors selected by the Nomination and Remuneration Committee of Tata Sons. And that creates overall governance issue within the Tata Group. And therefore, one group within the Tata Trust sought government intervention to resolve this issue, as it could have implications for the Tata Group and broader economy. In fact, they want separate roles and powers of Tata Trust and Tata Sons, as the overlap is hampering overall operations. Therefore, government intervention was sought to resolve this issue, which was intervened by the government very seriously, and therefore this meeting happened. Let's see how it pans out. But at this point of time, very significant development coming in, as the government has intervened in the Tata Group overall operations, and this meeting is very crucial ahead of the Tata Trust board meeting scheduled for October 10.
Okay, thanks Prakash for taking us through all of those details. So that's the big update coming in on the Tata Trust matter. But like Prakash was mentioning, the next big event to watch out for on this front is going to be their internal board meeting on the 10th of October. So what is the inside story and what could potentially be discussed during the board meeting?